All right, what's up, fantasy fans, comic book fans, manga fans? As always, I'm Shay from the channel Zachary Shay, and today I'm bringing you a little bit different of a video than what I usually do. Um, Now, this is kind of a hard video to make because I really love my tattoos, and I love getting tattooed. It's a fun little treat I give myself. Usually, most of my tattoos are inspired by either books, mangas, comics, or music, and it's my dedication to things I love. That being said, I don't like when I'm out in public and people grill me on what my tattoos are about. But me starting this channel, I'm really passionate about a lot of these books and comics that I've gotten tattooed, and I'm kind of excited to talk about it. So first off, I'm going to start with the first tattoo I got, and I'm going to put these all somewhere on this screen. So if I motion towards here and it's not there, or here and it's not there, I apologize. But first, I want to mention my Silver Surfer tattoo. So this is going to be on my left forearm, and it is a tattoo of Silver Surfer from the Dan Slott and Michael Allred run of the Silver Surfer. And it has Silver Surfer and his love interest Dawn. And I thought this was an exceptional run. Uh, Michael Allred and his sister, I think, did the colors. That it might be his wife. They're both Allreds, but the Allred team, they did such an exceptional job on the artwork, and Dan Slott just really understood the character of Norrin Rad better than anyone else ever has. If there's ever a Silver Surfer movie, I really want them to adapt this storyline because I think it gave the Silver Surfer a touch of humanity that was not yet seen in the Marvel comics, and kind of showed him as it was like a slice of life of the Silver Surfer, and this is a character that is usually given very depressing storylines. So I absolutely loved it, and that was my first tattoo. All right, so I'm gonna try to go like back and forth between like books and comic related stuff. That way, people who aren't that into comics can find some stuff to enjoy about this tattoo tour. On my right outer arm, kind of bicep tricep area right here, I have a tattoo of Kavoth from Name of the Wind. And this was okay. Tattoo number one was done by Danny Black in Alaska. This tattoo was done by Gray Inks. I might also link them down below if I forget to name any artists. And it was a tattoo of Kavoth in the streets holding his loot case from Name of the Wind 10th Anniversary Edition. Absolutely love Name of the Wind. I probably would not be as big a fantasy fan if it were not for Rothfuss's books. As I've said before, I do have issues with the way Rothfuss conducts himself and the way he talks to his fans, but I also have issues with the way the fans talk to him. So I always have this weird little thing when I talk about Rothfuss because it's like I do respect him and what he's done. I just don't respect everything about him. That being said, very happy to have a tattoo from his work because I do think he deserves that level of adoration. Next up, this is a new tattoo. It was a cover up. So I originally had a Mr. Miracle tattoo, amazing comic run. The artist was not good and really messed it up. And I had Zenful Art from here in Houston do this this little forearm tattoo. It's like a chainmail, and it's inspired by the cover of The Blackest Heart by Brian Lee Durfee. And I will say this series is so underappreciated. This is an absolute master class of how to tell a classic fantasy story with grimdark leanings. Maybe not leanings. It's full grimdark, but it's absolutely phenomenal. And I read it. I got this tattoo cover up maybe a week after finishing the series, but it was originally going to be like this black gauntlet, and I sent him. We used the tones from Five Warrior Angels to make that kind of this kind of vibe. It's not like a lot of the character tattoos that I have, but it was a cover up, so you know, less freedom with that. All right, so I also have some anime tattoos, and I have a tattoo of Power from the series Chainsaw Man. This was one of my first mangas that I really got into. Uh, Absolute blast. I might cover the series in the future. I don't know. I've been caught up for a while just reading them as the dubbed manga come out, not dubbed, but English translated. And that is on my right leg. On my left leg, I have Misaki Matsuda. Misaki? Yeah, Misaki Matsuda from am I calling her by the wrong name? The main character from The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong. She is tied with Tavor Paran and Nona Gray for my favorite female character of all time in fantasy, and she's easily in my top 5 favorite characters of all time, period. Um, she's just awesome. She's so resilient. She's so badass. And just to show this strong woman in this patriarchal society stand up for her children and for her family was just, she was amazing. Best part of Sword of Kaigen. I love Mamoru, but his mom stole the show. All right, so I also have a tattoo of Lelouch Lamperouge from the anime Code Geass, which is an anime original. I think there's a manga adaptation out, but it was originally anime, and I really love Lelouch's character. He's everything I wanted from Light in Death Note or Eren from Attack on Titan. Like he's like if you took both of those characters and put them together and gave him actual realistic motivations, like to the point where no matter how morally gray he gets, you still can find a way to root for him. All right, and then I also have a tattoo. This is from the video game Near Automata, and it's a tattoo of 2B. Now, Near Automata, if you're like me and you're not a huge gamer, it has some of the best themes and explorations of humanity. In fact, if you're a Malazan reader, I think you owe it to yourself to give Near Automata a try. The way it analyzes a lot of different philosophical, it tackles a lot of very mature themes about humanity, about society, about religion, and I think for fans of Malazan, it is definitely something to look into. Speaking of Malazan, I have a tattoo of Fiddler on my neck. Um, this was done by Oh No Joe on Instagram, Joe Mellon, phenomenal artist. He's done a lot of my black and gray work, and I wanted him to do the Fiddler piece, and I think it came out amazing. Obviously, with a character like Fiddler, who he's not the main character of a series, and Malazan, while having fan art, doesn't have a lot of like solid artwork of every single character. So we use some like I had to give him descriptions, and then he made the artwork, and then I was like, no, Fiddler needs. So it was kind of a process to get Fiddler right, but I think he nailed it, did an amazing job. So I'm going to go to the other side of the neck, and I have a tattoo of the Fool or Beloved from Robin Hobb's amazing Realm of the Elderlings. This is probably my favorite tattoo that I have. It's by Zenful Art, the same guy who did my cover up and who did my Sword of Kaigen, and the way I just like I gave him some fan art examples, and he was able to draw something that I feel like is closer to the soul of the character of the Fool, Beloved, Lord Golden, the soul of one of my favorite characters ever. And he got like I think he went online and looked up stuff. Same with Masaki. I feel like the tattoo artist Zen, he even these obscure characters, these are not mainstream characters. I mean, they may be mainstream within literary circles, but for the average Joe, that's not easy, readily available information. And the fact that he did his research, absolute knocked it out of the park. Loved it. All right, so next up, I have a tattoo of the entire Doom Patrol. I have a tattoo of Elastigirl, Robot Man, Crazy Jane, Negative Man, from the HBO series Doom Patrol, which is inspired by the Grant Morrison comic books, but I actually think the show is better. I have a tattoo of Alana from Saga, which is one of my favorite comic books of all time. Absolutely love it. I have a tattoo of David Martinez from the amazing Netflix original series Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And in the tattoo, you can see that's in my chest right here. You can see Lucy and David together in the tattoo, but it's a tattoo of David. Kara Clank, who did that and did my power tattoo and a lot of my anime tattoos. She did Lelouch and 2B. She knocked it out of the park with that one. I absolutely adore that tattoo. And let me see, what else do I have? I think that's it for all my book related tattoos. Now, if you stuck around and you're just curious for what the rest are, I have tattoos of multiple artists. I have Mac Miller on my chest. Absolutely love Mac. I have a tattoo of J. Cole, Juice World on my hands. I have a tattoo of Kid Cudi. I have a tattoo of Earl Sweatshirt. I have a tattoo of Kendrick Lamar on my back. Big hip hop fan. Maybe not as much as I used to be because I've really been getting into like Radiohead and other alt rock bands. But I mean, a lot of those artists had a profound impact on me. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention, I have a giant tattoo of the Gentleman Bastards. Massive. It's my biggest, most painful tattoo I've ever had, and the way the artist Sarah Lonnie did Locke, Jean, and Sabetha, and then also had the birds coming out meant to signify the falconer from that series, and had the towers, like the mage's towers. I lied. That may be my favorite tattoo I have. It was definitely the one that hurt the most. But yeah, I'm Shay, and this has been a breakdown tattoo tour of my ink. Most of it book related, anime related, manga related, and comic book related. Let me know what nerdy book tattoos you have, and yeah, just if you just want to chat about any of the series I mentioned, comment section down below, like, subscribe. Peace.